call me a racist?
Oh my God! It is episode 61.
61.
61 of the K-Pop Trucking Podcast. Yeah. No. Holy shit, everybody! Luke Davis is back.
I'm back.
He's back. I'm back.
Back with a vengeance.
I'm back, dude.
I'm back and I'm mad.
Dude, you punched me just right off the bat.
Oh, it's my van now.
Dude, you steal my shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I was
that's
gonna
right.
say, I was like a fucking chicken with its head off, dude, when you were going with the pod.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
episodes were coming out
Everyone
late.
told me. Yeah. They told me you were freaking out.
Yeah, dude, I wasn't freaking
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I guess I was freaking out.
Yeah. You
But
crashed the van.
I crashed the van, dude. Yeah, because you weren't here the second you.
Yeah.
So Luke goes home for the.
He started drinking again.
I started drinking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. Well, that's why you keep me around, right? I'm the brains.
And I'm the beauty.
Yeah.
Just a close
Here's
up.
something. My job is just to fucking set you up, to make you succeed. That's how I feel, honestly. I'm like, okay, I just got to make Frankie funny
You're right.
on camera.
You're my PR guy.
Yeah.
PA guy.
Yeah, in
Public-
in 30 years, you're gonna be just like Johnny Depp, and I'm gonna be like your accountant. I'm gonna be bald. Like,
Yeah.
God damn it! What did you buy? You bought an island.
I still put my vans in it.
Yeah.
I still live in vans.
I feel like if you were very wealthy, you would be. I feel like you would be very good at being wealthy
Dude, I feel like I'm very, very wealthy right now.
because you have lots of time.
Yeah, there
That's
you
right.
go. You know me.
That's why I didn't think it'd be a good idea for you to move in with me. For the viewers,
Oh, yeah.
one of my roommates is moving out, and we're looking for a subletter, and we thought of Frankie, of course. But I didn't think that'd be a good idea because I think that would take away your greatest advantage that you have, which is hardly any overhead, which
Yeah.
is the whole point of this thing. You don't
Yeah.
just live in a van because it's your only option. At
No.
least not at this point. Maybe it was. Was it?
No, it never was.
Yeah. No, of course. It
No.
never was. It was entirely your choice.
Yeah.
I tell people, oh yeah, I got this friend, he lives in a van, and they go, "Oh God." Yeah. They're like, "Are you okay?" They like, your lifestyle is so reckless that people worry about me when I tell them that I that I hang out with you. And I go, no, it's fine. He's doing it. It's a voluntary thing. It helps it so that you don't have to pay rent. And you are a rich man in the sense that you have lots of time.
There you go. And that's exactly how I looked at it on my way to New York. I was like, I am now a millionaire of time, dude.
That's right.
I can now do whatever I wish with the time that I have, which I feel like it's the same thing when you're rich with money.
Mhm.
Like the only thing that happens that I think when you get money is just that your vices increase.
Yeah.
Whatever your vices. So like now I'm like if I'm slacking off, I'm like, this is what I would be doing if I was a millionaire. I'd be fucking slacking off.
Right.
If I'm like working and shit, if I'm like being productive, I'm like, this is what I'd be doing, but just like at a fucking higher paying level.
Sure. Yeah.
I think so. And then we're just talking about this outside of the van, dude. Like this is my only income at the time. Not the
Yeah.
pod, but like the vlogs and shit.
Right.
And like fucking like random acting shit that I've
Sure.
got, and just random stand-up gigs now that I'm getting paid $25 a week now.
Oh really?
Doing
Oh
stand-up,
yeah,
yeah.
with the shop. Yeah.
I'm hosting the shop. Yeah, I'm hosting.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, dude, and like that, maybe I could do it and have a real job at the same time. But I mean, like,
Don't do it, man.
yeah, dude.
I'm envious of your lifestyle at times when during the day. At night, when I say see you later, and then you get in here and I go into my house and eat Cheetos. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, you could eat Cheetos here, but it wouldn't be the same. Me eating Cheetos on my couch, that's cool and good. You eating Cheetos in your van, very sad.
I'm envious of everybody right now with air conditioning.
Yeah, seriously.
It is hot as shit. And this what you're feeling right now, dude. This heat is me every morning.
This is your life.
Yeah, this is my life. Only
Yeah.
for the next like 2 months, I guess.
Yeah. You got to get out of this. You got to get somewhere. You got to go on the road or something.
Yeah, dude. Or just a park.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
just walk to the park.
How's Frankie doing? Well, he's sleeping in the park right now. But it's his choice. No, it's good. I'm trying to, your lifestyle gets worse and worse, and I continue to try to advocate for it. What's Frankie up to? Well, he's doing heroin, but it's like
he thinks it'll be funny.
it's helping with the writing, I think. He said he's He's doing like a Hunter S. Thompson thing. He thinks it'll like help with his creativity.
I heard Frankie overdosed and died.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. He left. Again, I'm not going nowhere.
He
with
doesn't
this.
pay rent. You're dead.
Yeah. Wow, he's living the dream.
yeah.
Still be my PR guy after I die.
Yeah. That's
Dude,
funny.
well, you went home. You went to North Carolina.
I went home.
How
We haven't
was-
seen each other in a while.
We haven't, dude.
It's been a long, long time.
It's been a long time. Frankie's my
Without you,
friend.
my friend.
No, Frankie's my friend.
Did people know that you sing songs and you go, but all the words you just say
Frankie?
either Frankie or Frank?
Yeah, like hi.
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah.
Frankie's in September.
Like the song that's like, ha, he, ha, hoo.
Oh yeah.
But you just go, Frankie, Frank.
Hi, Frankie. Yeah, but now I go hi, Joshua Creed.
yeah.
Whenever I see
Yeah.
my homie Joshua. So wait, how was your house, dude? You went to the south.
I went back home and I was there for a little bit longer than I thought I was going to be because we got delayed with these storms. But it was good, man. I missed you guys. I missed
Aw.
everyone here, and
Wow.
I went a couple days too long, and on the last day, I was like, I gotta get back, man. I gotta start working again.
Yeah, working stand-up wise, podcast
Everything.
wise, sketch wise,
All the things that we do.
or day job wise.
Day job I can do there.
Yeah, right.
I was doing the day job.
Yeah, see, I like that we call this shit work now, dude, because when it gets annoying. I don't know if I've said it to you before in the pod, but it gets annoying. It's like the pod or the sketches or the vlogs, but I'm like, oh, that's just work, and I'm like, and that's good
Yeah.
that I'm getting annoyed at this.
Yeah.
because this is now my job.
Well, and
slowly.
it's good that we're getting annoyed because that means we're doing. We're taking it seriously, you know. Like
Yeah.
we could just like when we write sketches.
Right.
At some point, when you and me write sketches,
Yeah.
we're gonna get pissed.
Yeah. Do we get pissed pretty regularly at each other now?
Yeah,
like
because we
while-
work together so much.
Yeah, and I said earlier in the van, and like when we were driving, we're like those couples that fuck and then go to work together.
And I didn't agree with that.
And then I did.
Frankie put on a song as we were setting up all this equipment, and he goes, "Oh, every time I hear this song, it just gives me a boner." I was like, "Well, don't play it then."
Luke freaked out. He said, "Turn it off."
Turn it off. I was sitting down there. You were up here. Every time I hear this song, it gives me a boner.
I'm just trying to.
Just trying to make the conversation. Just trying to fill the air.
That's my version of small talk.
Oh man.
So what gives you a boner? I'm at the bank.
Yeah. Because for me, it's you.
So I hit on chicks.
Yeah. yeah. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
how was home, dude?
it was good, man. It was good. I went because I wanted to see my grandparents because
That's right. That's
they
why-
are old.
That's why you didn't go to California for my birthday.
That's right. I didn't
Yeah.
go to California for your birthday because I knew I was gonna have to take a trip. I'm taking 2 trips. I already took one, and then I'm taking another one because my cousin's getting married.
Yeah, what's your cousin's name?
Ali.
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 Yeah, Ali.
Marrying Josh Seals.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Josh is a good guy. I like him a lot. He they came to New York last summer.
Yeah.
And he went to give me a hug when I saw him.
Okay.
And I haven't met him too many times, so I was a little
Put off.
weirded out by the hug. But then we hung out, and then when we were leaving, he went to give me a hug again, and I reciprocated the hug, and I understood at that time that meant that he was like,
part of the family.
he was trying to be like, I'm taking this seriously. I want to be
Yeah.
part of your family.
It'll be funny if you meet him, you guys hug. At the end, like after hanging out all day, you go for a hug. He's like, actually,
Yeah,
I didn't like
yeah.
you.
He turns to Allie. He's like, this guy.
Yeah. I can't hug this guy.
Yeah, yeah. You ruined the hug. Yeah, I mean, a hug is weird with a man.
A hug.
If you
Dude,
don't know him that well.
Have you ever gone for a hug with someone you thought you were like close with, and then they don't go for the hug? Like
Yeah.
like you know, something you go, oh, what's up? And you do like one of the hugs.
Yeah.
Dude, that's brutal. When I've
Dude,
done that.
can we just fucking figure out how we're gonna greet people in comedy? Because it's like, it's this, like,
Is the fist bump?
it's the fist bump, it's the dap,
Is the dab? The hand?
or it's
open
the
hand?
handshake. And the
Yeah.
handshake, sometimes I'll do a handshake mockingly, like I'll go to someone, like if we're doing like, I'm pretending like I'm very formal, hello, you know,
Oh, yeah,
how
yeah.
you doing? But normally if it's my friends, it's a dap. But then like sometimes I'll go to give my friends a dap, and then they'll do the fist bump, and I'm like, oh, are we not friends,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes on scale of like how close you are with a guy.
how close you are. Yeah. So today I went to give a comic bump or a dap, and then he just held out the bump, and so it was a game of chicken,
Right.
and I won. I held my hand, and he was like, okay, and he went for the dap.
And he said, "Okay, we're friends."
Okay, all right, I guess we're close. Little kiss.
Yeah. Dude, you know what I was thinking earlier? How sometimes we like get in fighting arguments, and if it's like because we're like we have this relationship, I figured out why it's like awkward getting back into like not being mad at each other. It's because with me, like when a guy and a chick get mad at each other, afterwards they just fuck.
They fuck.
We don't fuck,
We don't.
and that's what we should.
And that's what we don't do.
For the rumors being passed around.
That's right. We need a sort of catharsis. You know what we need to do?
Make out.
Fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fight.
We fought a couple times. You always win.
Was that 2 or 3 times?
Like 3 times.
I
But
remember one time you beat up Jack.
yeah, and then you avenged him.
Because Jack was like, I know karate. And you're like, for real? So you fucked him up. And I was like, oh.
I took that a little too seriously, that slap boxing.
That's when we used to drink.
That was back when in Frankie's drinking days.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's definitely been a little bit of friction with you and me.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have a good outlet. But I think to your credit, you're at least acknowledging that I need to talk about things. So you're like, okay, let's talk about it, even though you probably think it's gay.
Yeah.
And you don't like it.
I
But
don't.
you're making an effort to like actually like talk shit out more, which I appreciate.
Yeah, it's people around me that I love that fucking feel that that's the only way that they could get their feelings
I
out.
know, and you're just like, God, be a man. And I wish I didn't. I wish I could just
Right.
like put the cap on things and just like let it go.
Yeah.
But that's just not how I am.
Yeah, but I mean, I come to realize I'll just be uncomfortable for the 3 minutes. You gotta talk your shit out, and then we're fine.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just sit through it now.
And I am getting better about trying to pick my battles too.
Right.
And just like be like, okay, this is not. And a lot of times, if I want to say something, and I think we've talked about this on the pod, this is just like a fucking like, I love you, man. I just feel like sometimes you don't listen to me.
Every other episode on the pod is just talking about how we feel
We're
about
just
each
crying.
other. Yeah. It's 'cause
Comedy podcast. Everyone's like, oh my god, turn this off. These
all
guys are
right.
gay.
All right. How was going back home, dude?
It was good, but I thought about you a lot. It was good, man.
What if you came back and I started a sketch page in a pod with somebody? Oh, Luke. I didn't think you'd be back so soon.
The guy just looks like me. You're doing it with like Wolfgang. Oh man.
So you
It was
get
good,
home.
man. It was good. So I went because I was like, I want to ask my grandparents questions about their life,
Right.
so I can hopefully gain some perspective about my family and my heritage, and also history in the world, if I can.
Right.
And
That's a good move.
yeah, and because as I get older, I realize that, like, because I have a lot of social anxiety, and in the past it'd always be like, oh, I gotta say this, I need to say something in these times to fill the silence.
Yeah.
But really, to talk to people, you can just like listen to them, just ask them questions, and then that's a good way to talk to people, because then you're doing you're having an easier time talking, but also like you're learning things, and you're being humble.
Right. Isn't it crazy when you're like, sometimes you talk to somebody and you just ask them questions and you're like, oh, I'm a great conversationalist.
Yeah.
But there's other times when you're like hanging out with somebody and you just run out of shit to ask them.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, maybe this is judgment on your character.
Right.
Like when I can't even think of a question to ask you.
Right.
You know?
And or if you're asking someone questions and they're just like giving you one-word answers, it's not branching into something. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh, where'd you go to school? Oh,
Yeah.
NC State. Okay. And it's like, maybe that's a shitty question, but it's
Right.
like,
Yeah, like the conversations are so hard, dude.
yeah, they are.
Like to an extent.
Sure.
Which is why I think we have this in common. I hate like Now that I'm sober, like I think of a get together or a party or like a hang as like a with people that I don't know as a
Yeah.
kind of a chore. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I don't really know all these people
Right.
that well.
Yeah.
And it's like it's work.
Yeah.
To me, because like if I'm drunk, I'm like, hey, what's up, asshole? Ha, here, have a fucking beer,
Yeah.
fucking butt chug this shit. And they're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And then they're sober. And I'm like, ah, fuck you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm such a great conversation with
Yeah.
this.
You know what I was thinking about?
What?
When you're drunk, it makes it so that it's more enjoyable for you to be around people,
Yeah.
but it's not more enjoyable for them to be
Be around-
around you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then if you go sober, it's more of a chore, but everyone enjoys your company more.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a
How many friends realistically or relationships have you built out of meeting somebody at a party?
Meeting someone at a party.
Yeah, that afterwards you're like, oh yeah, let's hang out after this.
That's a very interesting question. I mean, a couple of sexual relationships,
There you go.
but
But I mean, like maybe like a friendship. I think I've had one.
really?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And his name was Carlos.
Yeah.
I hit him up to hang out the next Friday, and he said he was like hungover, and oh, that's cool, dude. Next Friday he died. Isn't that crazy?
So you really didn't make a friend.
No, I was so close, dude.
Yeah.
I was so close.
Yeah.
And dude, he seemed like such a good shit. He had a buggy, like a Beetle, like early 1990s one.
Yeah.
3 speeds. He had a motorcycle, and I was like,
3-speed?
yeah, dude.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like
That's weird.
reverse 1, 2, 3. So I guess 4 speeds.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
the box.
Yeah, dude. And he was like a very interesting dude, and he liked to drink. And I liked to like we were like both like 21.
He liked to drink. I like to drive.
I saved his phone number on my phone as Carlos Degenerate.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna be my new fucking best friend for sure.
Yeah.
He was my best friend at the time's like best friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're gonna fucking have the most fun together.
Oh yeah.
And then he died in a motorcycle accident.
You know what that was God was just like, he can't make a real friend at a party. He was like, there's a glitch in the matrix. He was like, fuck this.
Yeah, it was either me or him.
Yeah. So actually, you killed that guy with your affableness and your personality.
It was an accident.
No, but that's an interesting question, man, and that's the only time you can think of.
Yeah, can you think of any?
No, no. Every
Yeah,
time I meet anyone, like girlfriend, whatever, friend, it's by just force of being like forced to be in the same space as them.
Right,
That's
right.
how I operate.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I would always, when I was a kid, I would have crushes on girls,
Yeah.
and my fantasy would be us trapped in a submarine together.
Oh fuck, dude.
When I was like 5 years old.
What a turn that took, huh? Now.
Yeah, yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Thank
but
God you didn't have.
Thank God I didn't. My father wasn't Jeffrey Bezos.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Holy
But-
shit.
But
thi-
yeah, just being forced together, and then be like, well, now who else would she talk to?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what was my game plan with chicks, because a lot of the girls I dated were cashiers.
Right, right.
So like I just like make them laugh and be like, oh fuck, let me go back and get their
Yeah,
number.
there's a reason to talk to them. Anytime
Yeah.
you have a reason to talk to someone,
Exactly.
because when you don't have a reason to talk to them, then they're like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
What is it? What is this?
Yeah, but once you have an in, you're just like, oh no, I just gotta be fucking funny.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, just carry.
you go you just buy a bunch of shit just to buy
Yeah.
time.
It's like that Louis. He's like, the only thing you could realistically say to a woman when you walk up to her is, I want to fuck your face.
Yeah.
That's the only honest thing you could say.
Right.
But
Dude, the only friends I've ever met like at a party, they are friends of friends. Like they are close friends of my close friends.
yeah,
That's the only time like I can think of that
Yeah.
I've gone to a party and they're like, oh, this is my best friend from
Yeah.
whenever the fuck. And so now they're forced to stick around you because they're sticking around your best friend.
yeah. So funny. So many friendships formed at parties that are just one night friendships. It's like
Yeah.
so many. There's one night stands, but there's also like one night friendships, and you make all these plans together. You do cocaine till like 5 a.m.
Right.
And you're like, we're gonna hang out, and then like, by the time you're rolling home, you're like, I'm never gonna see that guy again.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I've never. Yeah, so you can't think of any friendships you formed from.
Not that I'm still friends with now.
Huh. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I guess going to parties doesn't work. Just stay at home, kids.
Just,
There ain't no need in going out and pretending to like people.
Yeah, what is the point of the parties then? What the fuck? Why do we go to the parties?
Yeah, who said parties were enjoyable?
They are when you're drunk.
They are when you're drunk with people. But like a party is, dude. Here it is. A party is like a fucking like it's a crowd. I was gonna compare it to a stand-up crowd.
Yeah.
To the point where, at some point, at the bar, everyone is singing and having the time of their lives.
Yeah.
Or everyone's annoyed at each other and a fight breaks out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the vibe is really just a gamble when
Yeah.
you're ready to go out.
Yeah, it's such a palpable energy too, man. When there's unrest at a concert, you can like feel people. Like I'll go places and just be like, people are agitated here, and concerts are like so. And I went to a concert on Friday sober, which I'll get into that
we'll
later.
get to that.
But concerts are such a hostile place because it's like there's not enough space for all these people, but we're trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Dude, and the geographics of a concert is crazy. Like I like going to a concert where there's stories to it, like floor, like mezzanines.
yeah.
And you get up on the top on the highest one, and you look down,
Yeah.
and you see there's a part of the concert where there's a mosh pit. You see
Yeah.
a part of the concert where it's just dead,
Yeah.
and you see a part where people are just like jumping around and dancing.
It's like looking at like a cell or something.
An
like
organism.
like some sort of organisms or like all these clusters of energy interacting.
Right.
Like this is where the strong concentration is. And then you have these people over here. These people are more shy, and
Right,
it's like,
right. So it's all vibes, dude.
and everyone like congregates with the type of people that they go with and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's cool.
that is crazy.
Yeah, that's
What-
like, is that what you were doing at the Steve Aoki that we went to?
I was just staring at people. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. And then that
yeah.
fight broke out.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
went. Did we talk about that?
I don't know. I was about to ask. We
Did we talk about that? Call us.
cause
Yeah,
Please.
but yeah, that's one of the examples that I think of when I think of that sort of agitated energy at concerts.
I don't think we talked about that.
that masculine energy.
Want to graze over it real quick, just in case
Sure.
we don't blue ball the audience.
Sure.
Well, Luke Davis, and Alex Mahaney,
And Alden.
and Alden, and I. Again, I went twice.
Yes, you were there 4 times.
We all
'Cause
went.
You were sober.
Yeah.
You were super present. Yeah.
We went to a Stephen Aoki's concert, and these fellas were on drugs. Did we talk about it?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, we did, huh?
Yeah.
And when the
Maybe
fight,
new listeners.
yeah, a fight broke out, and then I was calling you Steven, and Luke freaked out and went home.
not because of the fight, because of the drugs. And it was like 30 minutes later, but I did take drugs and freak out and go home. I was like, I'm too old for this. What am I doing on Molly? It's Thursday. I'm a piece of shit. I should be working.
And I was sober, going, I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
I gotta find somewhere to sit down. So basically, we were on the same page.
We were on opposite ends of the spectrum. I was drinking vodka Red Bulls and taking Molly, and you were completely sober, and we arrived at the same conclusion.
Yeah.
This shit sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, dude, I think with concerts, a big part of it, of whether or not I can enjoy myself, is really just the music. Like, the music is more powerful than any drug or substance for,
Yeah.
like, how that vibe goes.
Right.
And when the music sucks, dude, have you ever been on a dance floor dancing with a chick and a bad song comes on?
No, I don't dance from.
It's like, but
Yeah.
like,
But yeah, I get where you're going.
it's like somebody farted, and then you look at each other. It's so uncomfortable. You're
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
what do
barking-
we do?
barking spiders.
Yeah, dude, it's horrible when a bad. I remember I was at this one club and like every time the beat would try to crescendo to this drop, the guy would just do a switch, and it would be like he would go from like, Lil Jon or like some EDM to like fucking like cowboy music or something.
Oh,
Like, he just-
god damn.
And we were just on the dance floor like, what
Dude,
the fuck is he doing?
I just imagine like the DJ be like, "Oh, that chick is hot. I'm gonna talk to her after my set."
Yeah.
And then he sees a dude walk up to her and start dancing. Oh, fuck, I won't have any of this.
yeah.
Change it in
It's like, what do we do? But dude, there's some guys that can just dance to any. I think we talked about this on the last pod. Sorry.
So then, tell me about your house. How was going back home?
Well, I went and saw. So I saw my
Two
I have
grandparents.
three living grandparents.
What happened to the other one?
Well, she died.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting because she got hit by a ice cream truck. No, sorry, she had no.
All the kids still ran up and bought ice cream.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
I don't
just-
know why I made that joke. It wasn't even funny.
God.
About my dead grandmother.
I set you up for-
Worth it. Yeah.
Clip it.
But so I wanted to gain some insight,
on the world in the 1920s,
mostly my family. I wanted to,
like family history and shit.
yeah, family history, because my dad's dad, he doesn't know what our ethnicity is. And I ask him, he's like, I know very little. And I'm like, okay, but anything, can you just tell me anything? He's like, I couldn't, very little.
His last name is Davis.
Yeah, it's like, what's the little? His name is Luther Davis,
Okay.
as is mine.
He's named after you.
Yes, he's named after me.
Yep.
I gave him that name.
There he goes.
And he's old. Yeah, and he's an old man now.
So he can't tell you where he's from.
That's right, because
His grandparents. Well, I mean, his parents or did you ask him that?
yeah, that's where I started with the lineage question of like, where are your parents from? And he was like, I use my deductive reasoning.
Yeah, ask your grandpa. What are we? I don't know. All right.
Yeah. Well, is there like some? What's the? I don't know. You want a pork chop?
So he doesn't know what his parents are lineage.
He doesn't know our ethnicity.
So everybody was born and raised in North Carolina.
Well, so my dad is from North Carolina.
Okay.
His parents are from North Carolina.
There they go.
His mother actually was born in Germany because military.
Okay.
And we know his side. My dad's grandfather on my mother's side was this, pilot, super, like
American?
the most revered, yeah, most revered like member of our ancestry
Yeah.
that we talk about, James Atkins, and he flew bombers,
Oh shit.
and he made a lot of money.
Hiroshima.
He didn't do Hiroshima. He did one thing that's kind of interesting is
Well, Germany bombing.
he flew Berlin Airlift, which is when
They-
the wall can't,
Yeah.
the Berlin Airlift.
Yeah, yeah.
They would bring in
Things for the wall.
they would bring provisions for West Germany, which
Yeah.
was under communism.
Oh, and he
they
made a
would-
lot of money doing that.
I think the objective there was to curtail the spread of communism by helping the people who were under it to try to, appreciate or like side with America and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
turn against the communist regime
East.
of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
essentially. I think that was the goal. I'm not sure.
And your grandpa.
He flew
Yeah,
those.
your
So
great grandpa.
my great grandfather flew
That- he-
those, dropped provisions.
Oh, nice.
He also dropped some bombs, though. Not in Berlin, but in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
So he, one story that I heard was that he would drop bombs in Japan on the
People.
no,
Oh.
well the
No.
landing strips,
Oh.
so the planes couldn't land.
Oh, so he had a good aim.
Yeah, I mean the landing strips are big.
Yeah, I mean, but like the higher you go.
Yeah, but he would bomb the landing strips while these guys would go out.
Oh, so they couldn't
flying,
come back.
So they couldn't come back.
So they just have to like
they
kill
would-
themselves.
Yeah, they would crash. Yeah,
Or fly to Hawaii.
yeah, which is probably why they
torpedo
started doing fucking kamikazes. Well, we're gonna die anyway. I might as well take out the ship. I don't know. I don't know why it took me so long to think of landing strip.
That's
Now I'm
fucked up.
self-conscious about how slow I talk because fucking Josh is
Oh yeah, Josh.
dickhead. No, I'm just kidding. But that was a funny impression that he did of me,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Damn it, he's right."
Yeah, the scratching of the head.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but
so they paid your great grandfather.
Yeah.
A great deal of money to bomb chicks' landing strips.
that's right. yeah. Firebomb with
That's sick, dude. So and he was an All-American.
yeah, he was a revered guy, and then he was on base with my grandfather, who was in the Air Force.
Oh, with his son.
No, this is my grandfather, who was his son-in-law, who became his son-in-law.
Okay.
And he had his
Oh,
daughter.
nice.
He had his daughter, my grandmother, on base, and that's where they met. Was on base, and he wanted her to work at the. She was working on the base.
Yeah. A
And
nurse?
he wanted her to work at he wanted her to get with a pilot because he was a pilot.
What
He was
years? What years were this? The
This
30s?
was this was the 60s.
The 60s.
Yeah, my grandfather was born in the 30s. He was
Okay.
born in 1937, and then I'm not sure what year my grandmother was born. A little later, maybe 41. But they met on base. My great grandfather wanted his daughter to marry a pilot and shack up because
Yeah.
pilots were the jocks. They were the best dudes, and he was a pilot, and he was like, you should get with a pilot.
Yeah.
But so he was like, you should work in the trade expo because that's where you'll meet a pilot. That's where you meet the best guys.
Right.
But she wanted to get insurance for something, so she got transferred to like the civil service department, which was where my grandfather worked. So my grandfather wasn't a pilot. He was just he was in the military, but he didn't have some great position.
Yeah.
But that's where they met.
In the civil service.
In the civil service department. I can't remember exactly what it was.
In Germany or North Carolina?
In Missouri.
In Missouri.
In Missouri.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, what a romantic story.
Yeah, it's a pretty good story.
The most exciting part was your great grandpa being a badass.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't need to convolute it with all that stuff about my grandparents getting married, but yeah. So they got married, and then a new story that I got from him was that he took a train to like go break it off with a girl in North Carolina.
To be with
my grandmother, Cindy, and so I found out that he essentially was two-timing.
This was big back in the day, though.
Yeah.
Two-timing people.
Yeah. But it was always two. It would just be
Right.
like, you have your love, and then you meet a new one, and then you kind of have both of them kind of happening at the same time.
Yeah, now that I think about it, this has only been frowned upon recently.
Yeah, I think it was like...
Because I think Bill Clinton's fucking dad was like this. So Bill Clinton's dad got... first of all, his last name was Jefferson.
Okay.
He got his wife pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then this fool like goes out like on Christmas, gets in a car accident and dies. And Bill Clinton grows up. William Jefferson grows up, and then his mom gets like a new dude. He has like a stepbrother.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And
Stepbrother.
that was Clinton.
Yeah, stepbrother changes his last name to Clinton.
Uh-huh.
So, and then Bill Clinton, he goes his whole life trying to find things out about his father.
Yeah.
Like the deeper he looks and shit, he finds out that his dad might have had another family.
Really?
So, yeah, so he had like a whole ass other family. So he got married twice.
Yeah.
He had like another family, abandoned them, and then did this family.
Huh.
Yeah, not on camera. There's a Bill Clinton big ass book right
That's
there.
where you learned this from.
Yeah,
this giant Bill Clinton book you're reading.
Yeah, the one right there.
Have you finished it?
No, I can't get past the second chapter.
All that was in the first chapter?
Yeah, that's what he opens with.
What's the second chapter about? Why is it so hard?
Second chapter, he just talks about
Yeah.
himself.
Monica Lewinsky. He
Yeah.
just talks about getting blown in the Oval Office. Just boring stuff.
in detail.
Yeah.
Perverted stuff.
Yeah.
So what about your other grandfather?
So that's my mom's dad, and he. Let me just say this: talking to my grandfather, who I was just telling you about,
Yeah.
who was in the Air Force.
Right.
Talking to him is like trying to solve a puzzle, or like, it's like playing a video game where you keep having to restart if you make the wrong move.
Yeah.
And the wrong move is saying something that triggers him to
To
go
restart.
into the same conversation pieces,
Okay.
to run through the same synapses. So, like, getting a new piece of conversation out of him is kind of difficult just because of his age.
Yeah. He's 86.
He's 86 years old. He just turned 86. But he's still, he's still sharp. He's still with it. But it's just like...
The stories are hard.
It's like, at this point, it's just his life is just... It's happened. Everything's happened, and he's just telling it,
Yeah.
And so it's like he's just playing the hits a little bit, so it's kind of hard to get that new piece of the puzzle,
Right.
And it makes me scared because I know that I have some of those tendencies to repeat stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess I'll be there one day too.
When you're 86?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I've seen this guy eat.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandfather doesn't eat chocolate.
Oh, that's the key, folks.
Yeah,
If you want to be 86 and repeat stories, no chocolate.
no chocolate.
But if you want to be 86 and not repeat stories,
Yeah,
white chocolate.
eat chocolate. And if you don't want to be 86, then smoke cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
But
So what happened so did you get to talk to your grandma, your other grandpa?
I talked to my other grandfather.
What's up with him?
He had some shit to tell me.
What's his military background too?
No military,
Okay.
business, all business.
Wall Street, real estate,
No banking,
banking.
BB&T.
Shit.
And he lived in New York for like 3 years,
What years?
63 to 66.
Ah, yes.
He said he was like, I used to go to this place Fridays up on 63rd Street. Became TGI Fridays. Have you heard of it? Like he was like, I know the owner. You know, like this massive chain. And
Are
they
you
went to the
serious?
original spot. And they'd be like, yeah, Ralph. Now this guy's like a billionaire.
Holy
shit,
dude. This guy's old.
Yeah, man. So
That's sick.
he was basically telling me, he was like, yeah, you know, the Italians, I mean, they were all connected to each other. He was like, one time I was at a restaurant and this guy came in panhandling, asking for money. And he came up to my table and I was eating with these two Jews.
Yeah.
And and he's like,
Banking.
they
right?
asked, he goes, they asked one of them, Morty, it was his name. They asked him for some money and he said, well, let me just finish eating and then I'll give you some when I go outside. And they were at this Italian restaurant. The guy said, okay. And so he goes outside and waits for the money, waits
Yeah.
for the guy to come out to give him money. And then the Jewish guy calls the Italian business owner over and he's like, hey, you have this guy out here and he's asking for money. I don't want to have to deal with him. And the guy's like, okay, no problem. And he goes, like, makes a phone call to, like, a car comes down the road, like a bunch of guys come out with baseball bats, chase the guy off the
Oh,
block.
shit.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
So my grandfather, you know, he has a perception of Italians as criminals because he was in New York in the 60s when it
Dude.
was like mob shit.
Our friend Ben Callahan, he does walking tours in Soho,
Yeah.
south of Houston,
Yeah.
and or Little Italy. I mean,
Yeah.
that's around Soho, right?
Yeah.
And he does a lot of mob shit,
Mhm.
and I'm you know, that shit fascinates me.
Yeah.
So I was asking him questions, and I guess the Gambino family is still around.
Yeah.
Like all these families are still around. He said one of them just pulled a fucking heist on some GTA shit.
Really?
Dude, they robbed there's a jeweler at a penthouse, like 30 stories up. They went up there, fucking robbed it at gunpoint, stole all their shit.
That's mob shit now?
Yeah, dude,
That's crazy.
yeah, and they got they stole I think like $2 million worth of jewelry.
They get popped?
Yeah, they did immediately, like a week later.
Yeah.
And what was interesting to me was that, because I didn't know that these mob guys were still around. He said that at the restaurant where Crazy Joe Gallo got fucking shot at,
Hmm.
they would walk.
I don't know my mob history, but
All right, there's a guy, Crazy Joe Gallo. He got fucking shot at
Yeah.
some restaurant
yeah.
that still exists. I mean, it's like a different place now.
Yeah.
So a guy, one of his coworkers, was giving a walking tour. He's like, "Oh yeah," he told him whatever. There's a place where he got shot, and there's where he died. And
Yeah.
he had some of the tourists like lay down, like the pose that Joe Gallo was in when he was dead.
Yeah.
The fucking business owners from across the street restaurant were part of the Gallo family. They're still working mob. They come outside and they get this fucking walking tour guy. They bring him inside, they sit him down, and they fucking say, "Yo, you do that disrespectful shit again, you won't be giving tours anymore."
Damn.
And they let him go, and like now he just doesn't even fucking talk about that.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane, dude? Like
Yeah.
I think like maybe like a generation later.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even, or 2 generations. When was that? That was like in the 80s.
I don't know.
That's
I don't
like-
know about Joe Gallo.
Yeah, dude. But so we gotta have fucking Ben on, dude. Cause like I mean, if we want to do like a fucking
Yeah, so a little bit of history. I don't
Yeah.
know things. I would like to know more things.
dude, I love
about history and
Dude, I
stuff.
love knowing things I just can't retain.
I know, yeah, you were telling me.
Like,
but you
we'll-
retain some of it. You know a little bit about Hitler and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, but these are just parts that it's like my 5th time like hearing it.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And
Well, just hear it 5 times then. Then
you
you
just hear everything 5 times.
Yeah.
Dude, I love history, but I just can't retain it. But I love watching it and going, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then
It's just like it's just like a dream. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa, and then you wake up, the memory card is just wiped. Yeah, that's cool, man.
So you.
But yeah, he told me that. He told me about this guy he used to work with. He taught business at a college in Greensboro, North Carolina. And he told me about this guy he worked with who was just a complete con artist.
Yeah.
Named Tom Jones. I probably shouldn't say his name, but Tom Jones. And this guy was like always running these schemes. He he did an art auction to raise money for the college
Right.
that they taught at.
Yeah.
And then like the people that bought the art went and got it appraised, and it was just posters. It was like $4 posters.
And then the college didn't even exist.
No, the college was real, but
Oh.
the college,
Yeah.
he worked for the college. I don't know how he wasn't. I mean, he could just play dumb, you know,
Right.
and say, and the money's gone to the college now, so it's like,
Yeah.
and my grandfather said that one time he got a call from the guy, and he was like, Mike, I have cervical cancer. And he was like, oh my God, Tom, I'm so sorry. And then he saw him like a week later. He's like, how are you? He's like, oh, it was a fluke. It's like, who knows what that guy was cooking up? Why was he trying to make people think he had cervical cancer? You know, who fucking knows? And then he just was like, this is too much trouble. He was trying to like lay the groundwork for the cervical cancer scheme. He said that he went.
He's probably planning on faking his death.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that he went. My grandfather was like, one time he was like, you want to come down to Florida with me? And he was like, no, if I go down there, you know, I'm a decorated general, and so it'd be a whole thing. They would have to like salute me and stuff, and they would have to bring out the lieutenants, and it would be I don't want to do all that. It's like, to what end are you lying about this?
Holy shit,
Why?
dude.
Yeah, and just like,
Wow,
just
dude.
like insane. Just
I guess that's the good thing about nowadays is that scams and schemes are harder.
you can
to,
check them out.
They're harder to like keep up.
Yeah,
And the second you fuck up, you're viral.
yeah.
This fucking guy's stolen valor, or this
Right,
guy stole this or
right,
that.
yeah.
But back in the day, dude, have you ever heard of this scam?
What?
It's like a pretty well known. I don't know. I read it in some book. It's he was like a real estate agent, right? And he had like this place in the fucking cabins or whatever, you know. And he wanted to sell it to some guy, and then he told the guy, oh, you know, this place, I got this cabin in the woods for like $1 million.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, oh, all right, whatever, you know. And then he goes, you know, and then like the guy didn't want to do it. He goes, all right, whatever. And then they strike up a conversation, like they talk about boxing or whatever. And then they leave it at that. And I don't know where it happenstance. He like runs into him again. I think it's a calculator. And he goes, oh, you want to go get lunch? He goes, yeah. They go get lunch, and they're just talking about just life and shit. And he brings up, before they leave, he goes, oh man, you know that Canada thing? He goes, yeah. He goes, there's this you know what? Never mind, man. He's like, no, what? He's like, nah, it's probably not a good idea to tell you. And he goes, come on, tell me. He's like, all right. He goes, well, there's gonna be a boxing match up there, and we all go up there and we gamble, whatever. But you know, like you want no part of that. The guy say, oh, you know what? You're right. Right. And then like the guy leaves, and curiosity strikes him. And he hits the guy back up, and he tells him, you know, like, oh yeah, I want to go up to the cabin or whatever, this and that. And he tells the guy, I don't know, you know. I don't think it's a good idea. And the guy goes, all right, fuck it, I'll buy the cabin. I'll buy the cabin for you off $1 million. And
just
he goes,
so I can go gamble.
yeah, just so I can, this guy's like a millionaire.
Yeah.
The guy's like, all right, fuck it, dude, fuck it. All right, let's go up. They go up to the fight, dude. You know, long story short, like they're watching this like fight, like in the cabin, they're fighting and shit. This guy's like, wow, it's my new
The
guy.
fighting is happening in the cabin.
In the cabin, like a boxing match in the
Okay.
cabin.
Yeah.
And then this guy, like one of the boxers, fucking like knocks out the other guy, and the guy's like, oh, the guy thinks he gambled on it too. I forgot about it. He gambles like fucking like a fucking couple $100,000.
Right.
And they're like, oh, so he's like, fuck, this is crazy, dude. He's like, he just bought this cabin, he fucking is making his money back, he's gambling on this shit. And everyone goes, all right, come back next week. Comes back next week, same shit, dude. Fucking guy knocks him out, dude. And they're like, oh, fuck it, the referee. He's like, yo,
Come back to your cabin that you bought.
yeah. I might have made that part up.
Okay.
So this guy gets knocked the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
The referee goes
Twice.
Yeah, the referee goes, holy shit, he's dead. And he's like, what? He's like, he's fucking dead. And then the guy goes, holy shit. And he tells the guy, this is all like illegal gambling. This box, like the fucking cops are gonna be here. What are the guys like? What the fuck? What should I do? He's like, I don't know, man. Just fucking never come back here. We'll never speak about this shit ever again. Guy leaves, dude. Fucking, they keep his $1 million. They keep his gambling money. They keep everything.
Who is that? How do you know that?
I read in some book, but it's like based on a true story.
Okay.
Like this guy, he would do scams like this all over the country.
That's a great scam.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Isn't that sick?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean,
He didn't go like this. He's not dead.
yeah, he tickles the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like,
That's funny. Scammers.
Before technology, dude, fucking people just found ways to make money.
Yeah, man. Did I ever tell you about that guy I used to work for, the flower guy?
Mm-mm.
He was kind of a shiesty guy.
Well,
I don't know if I should talk about it because maybe he'll listen. Because we're still like kind of friends.
Yeah.
And I say friends, he's like 65. But we always had a very good rapport. But he was very shiesty, and I had to confront him about like money that he had taken from me, and he gave it back to me. But
Holy shit.
basically, what happened was the whole story is I had worked for him one summer because Wood had gotten the job, and then he left for 6 weeks, so I
Right.
filled in for Wood.
Nice.
The last week of work, I crashed the van.
Huh.
I rear-ended somebody because
Okay.
I was watching a YouTube video
On your phone?
on my phone, and
There you go.
yeah,
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Nobody admits it.
no, but I was watching a YouTube video and I crashed the van.
You're
And
watching a how to drive video.
I was getting pretty good too, but so I'm feeling bad. I'm like, I'm gonna get fired. I mean, I only had a week left, but I was like, I'm gonna get fired. Yada yada.
Right.
And then he goes, I shouldn't have said his name.
No, you'll bleep it out.
Yeah. He goes, listen, Luke, this is going to run a lot of money. It's going to bring up our insurance. But you've been so good. What do you say you just worked this last week for free? And I was like, sure, that sounds like a great deal.
Right.
Thinking that I was going to, because every time I had been in an accident before, which had just been one, but it had always cost money. And I was like, my dumb ass was thinking, oh, I'm going to have to pay for this.
Yeah.
Of course I wouldn't. I was on the insurance.
Yeah.
So I worked for the guy for free for a week. The last week that I worked there.
Yeah.
Which is not legal.
No.
And after the fact, I was kind of thinking about it, like, that was probably not right. So anyway, a couple years later,
Oh shit.
he hit me up for Valentine's Day. I went and worked for him again. He paid me a higher rate.
Yeah.
And then I asked to go work for him again, but
Right.
at that higher rate. So I essentially negotiated myself a raise to come back.
Yeah.
And it was like $14 an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. Versus like 11.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
But-
this is back in the early 2015s.
That's right. No, this was
2019.
too recently to justify how little I was getting paid. But this was in North Carolina, and my rent was not that much. And
Right.
anyway, so I go start working for him,
Yeah.
and my checks aren't looking that big because it was $14 an hour, but also because it was like I was like, something's up. So I went in and looked at my money, and I realized that he was taking 30 minutes out for lunch. He was taking 30 minutes of my check away.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, I confronted him. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up with this? And he goes, oh, well, you have to do that with Department of Employment. You
Yeah.
have to, it's the law. So I go home, I look it up. It's just not the law at all that you have
Right.
to take out people's lunch. I was like, it's
Yeah.
a weird fucking lie to say. So,
Well, some places I think that is true,
yeah,
like in agencies and shit.
yeah.
But
But
hard by an agency.
you don't have to, you have to give people lunch, but you don't have to take the money out.
Right. Right.
That's not part of the
No.
law.
No. Yeah. I think you just don't pay them.
Right, right. That was what it was. He just wasn't paying me
Yeah.
for that time.
Okay.
So I go and I'm like, I wonder, has he always done that? I look at my checks from 2 years prior. He wasn't doing that.
Huh.
So I was like, I need to get this money, and I'm going to confront him, and if he doesn't give it to me, I'll say I quit. But then I was like, I want to quit anyway because the job didn't pay shit. And so I was like,
That's the best mentality to go into a negotiation.
Yeah.
Just that I don't give a fuck if
Yeah.
this goes my way or not.
yeah, seriously. So I was like, I'll give my 2 weeks, and then on the last day, I'll confront him about it.
Right.
So I gave my 2 weeks, and then on the last day, I was like, hey, when you get a minute, I'll come, after I delivered all the flowers, I went up to him. I was like, hey, before I leave, I'd love to talk to you for a sec. And he was like, yeah, sure. Because we were friendly. We were friends,
Right.
essentially. He was not a good boss because he had bad business practices, but we always got along very well.
It was a good hang.
It was a good hang.
Yeah.
And so we went out, and he's thinking that I'm going to be like, thanks so much. I'm going to miss you, whatever.
Yeah.
We walk outside, and I'm just like, I think you should pay me the money that you took out for lunch. And he was like, okay. Like, he kind of like laughed in my face. He was like, how do you figure that? And I was like, well, when I came back to work for you, I asked for a raise, and you gave me a raise, but then you started taking money out for lunch, so I felt like you more just gave me the illusion of a raise.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, it's the law. We have to do that. And I was like, well, I looked it up, and it's not the law.
Right.
And he goes, well, that's the way we've always done it, the whole 8 years I've owned the business. And I was like, see, that's not true either, because I went back and looked, and you weren't doing it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, he started to like, I don't remember what he said, but he started
getting a heart
to get
attack.
Defensive. He started to get,
He goes, poor
I killed an old
60-year-old man over $300.
Yeah. So I said, look, I think you might have made a mistake, but I think you owe it to me to rectify a mistake, because I rectified a mistake to you by driving for you for free 2 years ago.
Oh, shit.
And he was like, I'm going to call Department of Housing. And then his wife came out, and she was like, we got one more delivery. She had no idea what was going on.
Oh, I thought you meant like, I'm calling the Department of Housing, and then the Department of Housing was his wife.
Oh, no, Department of Employment. Now I'm dealing with Department of Housing shit.
Yeah.
But
Department of Employment.
yeah, he's like, I'm calling Department of Employment to see if I'm in the right or not.
Yeah.
And then his wife came out, and she was like, we got one more delivery. She didn't know we were having this massive confrontation.
Yeah.
And he also at one point was like, that is such bullshit. I remember he said that. He said that, and I was like, ooh.
yeah, dude, that would have made my balls tingle.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Just like a grown man just yelling at you that this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And so he called, and then comes out, and she's like, hey.
You said her name. Probably can bleep that out too.
Yeah. And she's like, we got one more delivery. And I'm like, fuck. And so I go, like, I take it in my personal car so that if this doesn't go my way, I can just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing it out, and it's on the phone, and he's like, well, he'd be on the road, so I don't know how long he'd be taking for lunch because he'd be out. Okay, so should we pay him? And I was like, and he was like, and it was like all good.
He was on the phone?
He was on the phone with Department of Employment. He was like, okay, I guess we'll pay him. And then he hung up, and he goes, well, I guess you're right. And I was like,
there you go.
Thanks. I was like, thanks so much, man. And I was like, I didn't mean to like call you a crook or anything. And he was like, well, you did.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I guess I did, huh? And he's like, it's fine.
Right.
And we like hugged it out.
Well, there you go. That's business, I guess.
Yeah.
Dude,
And he gave me a lot of confidence to move to New York because I told him I was doing that, and he was like, well, if you were able to do this, I think you'll be fine. If you had the balls to confront me on this.
Oh, it sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but he's just all about his dollar, man.
Playing I'm gonna right here and play the devil's pubic hair.
Okay.
He did call the Department of Employment.
Yeah.
So maybe he did think that he was abiding the law.
Maybe he did.
But
there were a couple other things.
But the crashing the car and saying work for me for free, that's definitely illegal because the cars aren't insured.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
were a couple other things that Wood dealt with because Wood then, after I left, Wood and I like shared that job. Like we never worked at the same time, but between the two of us, we worked there for like 3 years. And Wood like had dealt with this woman saying like, I left you a tip at the place. And then he'd go in and they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, when I worked at the car wash place, we would share the tips at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Right? For the viewers, I worked at a car wash. And so at the end of every shift, we'd get tips. We split it between like 4 people.
Yeah.
I had worked there for maybe like a month when I realized that the people in the back were stealing from the loose change, loose dollars.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the front were rude to the customers and just a half-assed tried it.
Yeah.
And you hear me complain a lot about customer service in this thing. I try to be the best fucking car wash guy. If the person was polite or not, I try to be like the best. You know, like they
You have a good work ethic.
yeah.
I think like you seem like the type of guy that even like you're just like I just want to do my good job good.
Right.
Yeah.
I did. So
The thing's gonna be full of your blood by the end of the night.
what is this? A fucking mosquito? Where'd it go?
It's around me now.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
My gift to you,
Oh, thanks.
my blood.
AIDS.
So
I gave you AIDS.
So people would tell me constantly, I'm never coming back here again.
Uh-huh.
And then I would see them come back again.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, I'd laugh about it or I talk to them. Got it, motherfucker. I kill them, people listening. I didn't kill it?
No, I just saw it.
Did I just agitate it?
Yes.
Do those things lay eggs?
Made it angry. I don't even know what it is, man. I think. Oh. It's right here.
Where is it? Oh, you got it.
You did?
Yeah. Why? I mean, unless that's your finger blood. Yeah,
Thanks,
Luke.
Gordon.
Yeah, Luke Davis.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah, murder. I throw a bucket of blood on you.
I want more.
So, anyways, going back
So they would come back. They'd say, "This place sucks.
I'm never
I'm
coming
never
back.
coming back here."
And there was another car wash down the street, but it was always packed, probably because they
Ah.
had better service.
Yeah.
But I guess sometimes it would just be too packed for these people, so like, fuck, I gotta go back there. And
Nobody wants to wash their own car. They'll just deal with
yeah,
just humiliation just so they don't have
well,
to
no, this was here in
pick
New
up
York.
a fucking sponge.
This is in New York though, so like it's hard to wash your car in New York. 'Cause you gotta fucking connect to the
Yeah, you
side of
gotta-
the building
yeah, you
or
gotta
to a
connect the
fucking fire hydrant.
That's true. That's true. I forgot you worked at that car wash.
Yeah, dude.
But didn't you have, your boss was like a lunatic.
He was hilarious, dude. Yeah, he fucking he asked me to work there full time
Yeah.
because he and this was all in Spanish. It was me and another guy, and then he said, "Could you work here full time?" And then I said, "Oh, I don't know, 'cause I understand." And the was like, "Come on, you'll be a very rich man with me." I was like, "Oh, really, dude? This fucking car wash? What's the cap? Fucking your job, asshole."
What was he wearing? Like a fucking like.
It wasn't even his car wash. He was just the manager there. He was like, "Come on, you'll be a very rich man with me."
It's like the guy who in San Bernardino who was like, "You'll make more money than you've ever seen in your fucking life."
Yeah, dude, same energy.
Yeah.
And then so I remember one time, like, this was in Spanish. He fucking said, "Yo, like, you want to be manager here, or you want to be like assistant, like man outside?" And then I was like, "No, I don't know." And he was like, "I'm fucking tired of his bullshit. This guy, I'm about to fire him, and you're gonna take his position." The guy's right there. The guy's just staring, like he's speaking Spanish, but like the guy's like we're obviously talking about him, and he's pointing at him, like,
like pointing at his face.
literally like that, dude. Like not even exaggerating. He goes, "I'm tired of his shit." He fucking pretends to pray, and he's like, because like the guy was like, I don't know what religion it is, where like
Uh-huh.
every like hour on the hour you have to like pray.
Yeah.
He goes, he fucking pretends to pray, like this guy's just ignorant. Pretends to pray. If he comes out here, he's fucking lazy. You're taking his job. This guy gets paid so much. I'll pay like $20 an hour. And Papa goes, "Come work with me. Take his job. You'll be a rich man."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Nah, I can't do that." And he just got really mad at me.
Damn.
But anyways, there's so that job, I was one of the best employees because I was just nice to the customers and I fucking actually worked. And to the point where customers, we would be inside of the car and they'd like give me the tip.
Yeah.
They'd be here, like, you know, this for you.
Yeah.
And I would always go back and put it like in the
Yeah.
family tip for like everybody at the end of the night.
You're a better man than me.
Well,
If I was working at a fucking in a shit den like that
yeah.
and having to split people with people, a bunch of people who didn't give a fuck.
People in the back stole, yeah. People in the front didn't want to work.
Yeah.
So dude, my last 3 days there, then every time that happened, there would be like bigger tips. It'd be like fucking $10. Like, and then
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh, I can't. I gotta put it over there." The lady said, "Listen, I've been coming here for a year. You're the best employee they've ever had."
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot, dude. Because I'm a fucking half-asser too.
Yeah.
But like, dude, just the minimal effort that they couldn't fucking put in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I then like the last 3 days I was just taking
Yeah.
like tips for myself because I was like, "Dude, yeah, fuck this, dude. Like
Yeah.
everybody's slacking except for me."
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, there's no problem with that.
Um.
They wanted to give it to you.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if that place closed down or not.
Working for tips is tough, man. It's
Oh yeah.
it's tough to like just like like the people, your customers decide how much money you get on top. and that's what you live off of. It's
yeah,
hard. I've had a lot. I don't. Have you ever waited tables?
Just bust.
Yeah.
Well, I
it's-
have waited, but like at catering events,
Yeah.
which is different.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you? Because at the catering company I work for, we cater weddings and stuff or like business events.
Yeah.
And you know the stereotype that like that black people are bad tippers.
Mm-hmm.
So we never. So
I've heard that.
so we never get tipped at these
Yeah.
events, right?
Yeah.
we catered a black wedding,
Uh-huh.
and some people left tips, but they only left like $1
Yeah.
on the table. So I was like, dude, this is hilarious. Even when you're not supposed to tip,
Yeah.
they fucking somehow found a way.
To make it offensive. Yeah. To be the worst tippers. Dude.
I couldn't believe it.
I worked at this restaurant, and there was this family came in. Nice family. Black family. It's the dad's birthday.
Yeah.
He gets a rack of ribs. He's got his 2 daughters with him.
Yeah.
They're great. And then at the end of the meal, it's like $150 tab. He
Yeah.
goes, "I got something for you." It's fucking $5. He creased it. He really had the audacity to crease it out. Like,
It's not even 10%.
it's the worst fucking.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Dude.
Who knows why that is? But
Yeah, dude. We just did a Jewish wedding, and I didn't tell you about this, dude. We catered a Jewish wedding. Now that we're on the racist tip, we always somehow find a way to make this shit racist.
Sure.
We were on we did I almost said a racist wedding.
It's. I mean, what show could be more about stereotypes than a show about a Mexican living in a van?
With a wet back, I must add right now, dude. I'm
Yeah.
fucking sweating,
Hey, man, me too.
dude. So we're doing this Jewish
Is that why
wedding.
they say wetback?
I don't know why, dude. Maybe it's something
Because they swim
they
over.
swim across the river, or they sweat across. I don't
But
know.
It's not just your back that gets wet.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. They're
They
like,
do backstroke.
yeah. I mean, I think they're just reaching at some point.
Yeah.
Like, we're going wet backs. And
Yeah.
It's like, all right. Fucking-
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Wet back sounds better than wet bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wet guys.
And also stereotype laziest and hardest working is like fucking.
So stupid.
Are we the laziest or are we taking the jobs to
Yeah,
figure it out?
seriously, seriously.
I'm pretty sure it's like hack at this point.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're doing this Jewish wedding, and it's funny. I'm a busboy, so it's just another stereotype.
Yeah.
So I'm busing this wedding, but before like this the party, this like the ceremony, right? Dude, a guy drives up all the way up to the ceremony, like an old Jewish man, dude, all the way to the ceremony, and he goes, like to the chairs, dude, like past like all the cars are parked. Drives up like the walkway where the people like like a beautiful walkway like
Yeah.
flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
People find their seats. Drives through that in his car, dude. Obviously a sidewalk.
Escalade.
No, but it is an SUV.
Okay.
Drives up to like the chairs.
A Jewish guy.
Yeah, old Jewish guy. He goes, "There's no parking back there." There's no interrupting the ceremony, dude. They're about to fucking step on the glass.
It's a wedding.
Yes, interrupting. He goes, "There's no parking back there." People were like, "Holy shit, dude!" They're like the wait staff can't believe it. We're like, "What?" And then we gotta like fucking like escort him back. Like he has to go in reverse now, but it's like a little curvy, so it's like his car's like falling into like the garden a little bit. It's just running over flowers. So
Oh my god. Dude.
so that happens, dude. And
he's late.
Yeah.
And he's like, he drives up on the wedding.
and says there's no parking. Like, dude,
That's
so
crazy.
the Jewish fellow, they fucking party, dude. They
Yeah.
party, dude. Say what you
They
will.
pick up the chair.
Yeah, they did that. I saw that live. I've never seen it live. It
Yeah.
was fun, dude.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with the breaking the glass,
Mhm.
I learned something, dude.
What?
They do that. Do you know why they do that?
No, I don't.
They have a whole thing about how you're blessed, like getting married is a blessing, and you're very lucky, like to have found love.
Yeah.
It's all blessing. And the guy goes, this glass, you're gonna step on it, and it's to show that even when you're broken, you're still blessed to be alive and to like be broken and to have something to fix or whatever. That's something very profound.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing it, but it's
Yeah.
something along those
Basically,
lines.
it's saying that marriage, you're completely fucking up your life, but it's okay because you still have the glass that used to be your life. You still have the pieces of your life. They're just torn apart.
Yeah, essentially.
But it's still there.
It was a little more beautiful than that.
You can still kill people with it.
Yeah,
or do
or
something.
take your life with one of these shards of glass.
Yeah.
But dude, so just real quick, what I want to get to, like, so they party, dude, like hard, like they fucking dance, like we bring out the food at a certain time. They fucked up the way we brought out food because they wouldn't leave the dance floor. You know, and it was sick. But like at 11 p.m.
Do they all do the same dance? Like they know a dance and they
go
in a circle?
Oh, they did the circle thing. They did the chair thing. They threw up the father-in-law thing.
Yeah.
They did all that. But
who was the guy who drove up?
It was like an old man, just late.
Yeah, like was he in the family?
I didn't ask him, but I'm pretty sure
he was funny. I feel like it's a +1. It's like somebody's date. He doesn't even know anybody.
They did have a caretaker, which it was an old Indian woman.
Yeah.
Who didn't speak English, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
So she was as equally lost. Oh shit! Fireworks, fellas.
So it's almost the 4th.
Yeah, dude. Oh, here real quick. So then it's like 11 p.m. and the party's like fizzling. The old Jews are fizzling out, and they're just complaining on the way back to the car. This is the old woman going. I mean, enough is enough. I mean, it's late enough. You know, we had fun. Now let's all leave. The music's so loud. It's 11 p.m., dude.
After watching them all have the most fun time of their life.
There's like people like sneezing. Like there was a guy with like a bunch of like tissue paper rolled up in his ear.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was the most stereotypical shit, which is funny, dude.
Yeah.
Cultural differences.
But that's the final part of the wedding. That's the final part of the wedding ritual.
Yeah.
Is to just go, all right.
Yeah.
Enough with the music. Let's go home.
It's so loud.
Yeah. And then, and only then, once they get home, can they say, that wasn't nice. Yeah. After it's all said and done.
Then has this conversation come to its course?
I believe so. What do you have to plug for the show?
I think I have nothing, just my sick ass little vlogs.
I have a show, and I want to tell people what it is. I got booked on it today, and I'm excited about it.
Well, David's out here.
I have something to work for these next couple of weeks. I will be at Game House. That's House. You've heard of it?
No.
Game House. Game like house, like the German spelling. Haus.
Yeah.
Long Island City.
Ooh.
July 20th at 8:30. Doing a spot. That's Delaney Newman's show.
You're Delaney.
And I'll be over there.
Yeah.
And I think
Long Island City, dude. My stomping grounds.
LSE, yeah.
And then my shit just Frankie Oi on everything. Go look at my sick ass little vlogs. And a real piece of work or sketch page.
Yep. @real_POW or just look up a real piece of work.
Right.
Sketches every Friday.
And if you're
funny sketches.
If you're listening to this podcast on Spotify, please subscribe or rate it 5 stars so we could come out on people's things more and get paid. We're getting paid like we're not getting paid anything yet, but we will be getting paid.
We'll get paid
very little. So please help us get paid very little.
Please. And thank you for listening.
Yeah, dude, and good to have you back, Luke.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back, my friend.
And that is episode 61 of the Keep On Talking Podcast. Yeah.
Are you calling me a racist?